I'm Kurt Loder with MTV News. Guns N' Roses singer Axl Rose was arrested at New York's John F. Kennedy International Airport on Sunday morning as he disembarked with his girlfriend, model Stephanie Seymour, and her 2-year-old son from a Concorde flight from Europe, where the couple had been vacationing prior to the start of a Guns N' Roses tour with Metallica, which is scheduled to get underway this coming Friday in Washington, D.C. A warrant for Rose's arrest had been issued several months earlier by a prosecutor in St. Louis, who had been trying for months to get Rose to return to that city to face misdemeanor assault and property damage charges stemming from a riot that erupted at a Guns concert there 1 year ago. Rose was jailed in New York for 10 hours, then released on $100,000 bail, following which he hopped into a limousine headed for a Manhattan hotel, and we hopped in with him.
Actually, you all right?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
What happened?
Awesome. The prosecutor reneged on a promise he made. I'm going there on the 15th, and he said this wouldn't happen, and he lied.
You gonna be out soon?
I think so.
Rose had been arrested on an outstanding warrant issued months ago by a prosecutor in St. Louis named McCulloch, who had been trying for nearly a year to get Rose to return to that city to answer to 4 misdemeanor assault charges and 1 misdemeanor property damage charge stemming from a riot at a Guns N' Roses concert in St. Louis last July. After 3.5 hours at the Queens Courthouse, Rose was released on $100,000 bail and an agreement that he would finally fly back to St. Louis this week, as he'd already planned to do. We jumped into a limo with him for an exclusive interview on the way back to his hotel in Manhattan and asked him how he'd been treated in jail. What do they do when they put you in jail? Did you have a cell by yourself, or were there other people? Did you get to talk to any other inmates or anything?
No, I basically spent my time writing autographs for cops and talking with them about rock and roll. I met all these really cool cops that were telling me all about when they went to Woodstock and everything. It was great. New York cops are the best.
The question in many observers' minds, of course, was why Rose didn't just return to St. Louis to plead his case months ago. According to Rose, it's taken this long to work out an ironclad deal, which, as things stand now, means a sentence of 2 years probation reduced to 1 year.
We've just been waiting till, to get the case somewhat solidified and in writing before we go, because I don't want to go there and get set up. You know, well, you come here, it's going to be like this, and then it's a whole different story, and you end up sitting in St. Louis for a long time.
What does probation mean? You can't come back to St. Louis and do something bad, or you can't do something bad anywhere in the country?
It's like anywhere. It's anywhere, but I'm not really worried about any of that because I really don't spend my time breaking the law, so I'm not really worried about that. It just depends on, if you play someplace where somebody doesn't like rock and roll or Guns N' Roses, they could say I did something, You never know what will happen with that.
And what exactly happened at that St. Louis concert 1 year ago? Did Rose provoke a riot, or was he simply reacting to a collapse in concert security? Here's what he told us.
We have tape of one guy on stage with a knife, and we lost $1 million worth of equipment in that show. And I don't see anybody else taking any responsibility for anything. I'm saying, yeah, I jumped off stage, and yeah, things went haywire after that. And maybe I could have handled it better or whatever, but no one was really handling anything at that point. So I took it into my own hands with what I could do. And what crossed my mind that time, because I've been pretty much pushed to the limit by their lack of security. But I don't see anybody else in St. Louis really taking any responsibility for anything that happened.
Rose flew to St. Louis on Monday and is expected to turn himself in to local authorities early Tuesday morning. That's the news for now. Try to catch our daily news show, The Day in Rock, weeknights at 8 and 12:30, again at 8 and 12:30 the following day. And we'll be back with more news later here on MTV.
Now is the time that you've all been waiting for. Now is the time that the entire world has been waiting for. It's the world premiere of Guns N' Roses' November Rain video, or November Rain film, if you will. A little bit about the song November Rain. November Rain is actually one of the oldest Guns N' Roses songs. I mean, it was done even before Appetite for Destruction was put out. And back in the old days, it used to be like 15 minutes long. I remember anytime you would get Axl by a piano, he would play November Rain. And I think that song and actually Estranged are probably two of the most beautiful rock and roll songs maybe of all time. And I think 20 years down the line, we'll still be hearing November Rain on the radio. It's a brilliant song. Now about the video. The video was recorded in surround sound, so if you happen to be extremely wealthy, you may have surround sound at your house, or even if you've got a good stereo system, turn it up because it's going to sound amazing. Visually, the video is completely amazing. It was done on film. And I don't want to spoil too much about it, so I'll talk to you a little bit after the video. I do want to tell you that the girl in it is supermodel Stephanie Seymour. And watch the video, especially real closely at the people sitting at the wedding table. Here it is, the world premiere of a very amazing video. Here's Guns N' Roses' November Rain.